Not now, but right now. Subscribe to the Fight Week Show. We'll see you guys on the road soon.
What's happening, Fight Week Show fans, Fight Week Show people? Then we're back with another episode of Don't Stop Shakedown. And joining me to do all of this week is my brother Jordan, Yao, and a man behind the picture right there. We have Leroy on job today. He's going to be helping us, and he's going to be joining in some of the conversations today as well. And yeah, let's start with the birthday guy, man. How you doing, Yao, man? How was your birthday? How did you get on? Hope you had a great time while I was busy killing myself, face planting, literally.
With that said, I hope you're okay. I was looking forward to doing last week's show, but I'm glad you're okay now. We're here now today. Birthday was amazing. I was watching UFC on the Saturday on my birthday. People were like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, it's a fight night. What do you want me to do?" So yeah, it was a great birthday. Thank you so much, Ola.
No, man, big up, man. Big
it's
up.
It's a perfect way to spend it.
Hope you had a good one, man. You know what I mean? For the big 4-0 as well. Man, spend the big 4-0 watching Fight Night, man. That's not a bad card to watch as well. That was a lovely card to watch, you know what I mean? So it's just a shame that some of us didn't get round to painkillers and pain, all sorts. Anyways, Mark Dane,
Yo.
how you doing, man? How you doing, man? How you doing, my brother? I hope you're doing good, man. It's been an eventful week, but for you, how's things for you?
Good, mate. Good. You know what I mean? Living that dad life, working away. But yeah, like you say, eventful week in MMA. We've got a lot of things to talk about, and looking forward to getting stuck into it with you boys.
Yeah, man. Fucking.
If my dog would get the fuck back in the house, so I could shut this door.
Have you handed out more discipline? This man hands out more disciplinaries than fucking the commissions and shit, man. Like,
shut your mouth. We don't bring that into this place. You know what I mean? That's got nothing to do with fucking now. You know what I
mean? Leroy.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on swiftly from that. How you doing, my brother? You know what I mean? You good? Hope everything is nice with you. And I see you putting in bare work in the back. Salute to you. I got to hand that to you.
You having a laugh?
You've been putting in bare work.
He's the laziest man on the show. He doesn't do shit.
No. Well. I am not about to sit here and say that. Trust me. Yeah, I see the work more time. How you doing, my brother? I hope you're doing good, man.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Like, yeah, it's Wednesday. I can't wait for Saturday. That's all.
Yeah, man. Oh, I can see why people say you're lazy now. It's Wednesday. I can't wait for Saturday. You just keep out 2 days. You just keep out 2 working days, bro. As this brother just keep out 2 working days, you know. 2 fucking working days.
All this dude does.
I can't wait till Saturday. Yeah, I can't. Jordan, you might be onto something, man. You might be.
I'm definitely onto something. All he does is turn up for watch along, sits and drinks some beers, gives us some shit, and then fucks off.
Then fucks off again. You know that. You know that takes a surprising amount of work. To be honest, to be that consistent at doing fuck all takes commitment.
Yeah, that's what they want to see in an Australian citizenship test. You know what I mean? Tell me about yourself. Well, I do fuck all, I drink beers, and then I fuck off.
Tell everyone how they can do their job better, and then fuck off.
Yeah, for real. It's a skill. Big up to everybody that's watching us live right now on all platforms. Salute to all of you, everybody that's joined us, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on playback. Big up to all of you, man. Make sure you are hitting the like button. Make sure you sharing the video. It gets us out to more people, so we can have more people in here, so we can grow our community and get some awareness out there. So please make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're sharing the videos as well. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to every single one on here. Well, apart from Leroy, but the Rambling Dad and kick him in the head. The Rambling Dad and kick him in the head. Make sure you're subscribing to them if you're new as well, man. Make sure you are doing that. That's your tax. That's your. I
feel like Leroy's like the Harrington of the BYM pod, but for the Fight Week show.
He embraces that shit, man. He been embracing that shit since day dot. Since like from get go. He loves that shit, man. He don't like Harrington. He likes to be called Jamie from Joe Rogan. You know, he likes that Jamie shit. I pull that shit. Yeah, but that's what he gets up on. You know?
The man in the chair.
I cop the strays like Harrington.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, 100%. Hey, listen, we're all parents, all of us, right? We all got kids, and right here on the screen, we have Francis Ngannou announces the death of his 1-year-old son. Life is so unfair. I saw this yesterday, and you know, the love that we all have as MMA fans for Francis Ngannou, and just seeing him win at life in the recent journey that he's been on, and some of the comment that he posted yesterday in his comment. I'm going to come to you first, Yao. Some of the comment that he posted yesterday in terms of you do all these things, you go through all these trials and tribulations. The people that you're actually doing it for, they just tragically passes away. It's so sad. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say, condolences to him, his family, his loved ones, everybody in his family that's affected by that kid passing away. It's a tough pill to swallow. Yao, you have anything to say?
I think it's one of those things, and I think I want to say first thing is condolences to Francis Ngannou and his family. May his son rest in peace. It's never easy to lose a family member, let alone a child that young. And, all strength to the Ngannou family during this difficult time. And it goes back to what we always talk about when we say that fighters are real people having real lives. They're not just people who are out there for the prize, as much as that's what they are, prize fighters. So having this news come out is very sad for Francis Ngannou, and I hope that Godspeed to him, that it doesn't really affect him too much emotionally, as much as this is an absolutely devastating blow. And for him to share with the MMA community so candidly on social media, I think we all definitely appreciate being let into his journey, into his pain, his family's pain, the current tribulations, and how that's adding to the overall journey that is the story of Francis the Predator Ngannou. So Godspeed to him and his family, and I hope that they can get through this as best as they can.
You can see the pain that he's clearly going through, and the struggle to deal with it just by that post alone. I mean, it says too soon to leave, but yet he's gone. My little boy, my mate, my partner Kobe was full of life and joy, and now he's laying without life. I shouted his name over and over, but he's not responding. I was my best self next to him, and now I have no clue of who I am. Life is so unfair to hit us where it hurts the most. How do you deal with such a thing? How can you live with it? Please help me if you have an idea, because I really don't know what to do and how to deal with this. Yeah, that's fucking brutal. I've got a 15-month-old, and I don't know. I can't even comprehend.
Yeah, I mean, that's as painful as it comes. Jordan, I mean, when you saw that news yesterday, you must have felt it just like the rest of us. We was talking about it in the group and in the group chat, bro. It's like I said, we're all parents, and the question that Francis is asking there, that how do you even work out what to do in these sort of situations, mate?
You can't, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely tragic. It's devastating. Like, I said it on Twitter as well. I said, no man, no parent, like, no father should have to bury their own kid, mate. That honestly heartbreaking. I've got friends who have lost children in real life. You know what I mean? Like, that I know personally. I say in real life, this happened in real life. Like, but I mean, this was a couple of years ago that one of the recent ones lost a child, and there's no getting over it. There's no recovering from it. There's no dealing with it. You know what I mean? You just go day by day, and there's a massive piece of you missing. Like for hours after finding out that news, I was just sitting, it makes you think about your own kids, makes you think about your own future, makes you consider everything that you should be grateful for when you hear about something that's as tragic as this happening. And especially when you read that post, that I was getting goosebumps when Leroy was reading that there. You know what I mean? Just screaming his name, but not calling back. And I think, like Leroy said, he's got a kid quite close to the age himself. Obviously, my daughter's just turned 2 as well. So it's, I mean, it resonated with maybe me and him that little bit extra, just because our kids are so close in age too. Like, what if that did happen with our kids? You know what I mean? Like, it's horrible news, and there's even somebody as strong as Francis, it's going to break. You know what I mean? Like, but as I said as well, like, I'm not religious, but it comes back to that verse from like the Bible of, I mean, God gives his toughest soldiers the hardest battles, and it's heartbreaking, man.
100%. Well said, brother. It's just a it's just a tough thing to deal with. And look, it doesn't matter what age, but when they're that little, I remember, Rick Ross, even and he's one of my favorite music artists, and he says he only shed tears when babies die. You know what I mean? Like, because that's where it really hurts. That's where, you know what I mean? Like, it's I don't even see him even getting back into any kind of competition.
Not for a while.
Not for a while, until further notice, I say, until further notice, because something like this for somebody like Francis, because his motivation clearly was to provide for his family, was to put food on the table, and to have that ripped away from him, at such a young age, it's just brutal, man.
I know it doesn't
brutal.
really change anything at all, but has anyone heard any news of the cause?
No, not seen anything. I've not been looking either, to be honest with you. But
it's hard to even read the headline, let alone want to read the story.
I know, especially when you read his own words there, as that he was calling his name. It's like, I mean, it's what did happen. Was it a sudden thing? But again,
even just reading that, I had to speed through it a little bit because it starts to make you emotional. It's like
100%.
It's heavy.
I remember when Muhammad Usman lost his son, Kamaru Usman's brother. And it took a while before we ended up finding out, what really happened. And his son was just playing around with family, jumped in the pool, drowned in the pool before anybody could even realize, what had happened. So these tragic things, it just hurts, and yeah, that's if life's gonna hit somebody, that's where it really hits you, and it's hard. It's going to be hard for him to come back from this, and I hope in time, not forget his son, obviously, but he finds a way to try and manage it, and get back into some form of what he knows how to do. And in the same way that Mohammed Usman used it as an inspiration and dedicates a lot of his fights, a lot of his wins towards his son, it gives him a reason to get back in there and keep on fighting. And hopefully, we'll see some charities, in the name of his son, because Francis Ngannou is MMA ambassador for Africa. So it's something that I'm sure a lot of people would want to encourage and partake in, should something like that come about.
There's absolutely going to be an army behind him if he's calling for any sort of action, any sort of community help, like the MMA community and the boxing community, and for that fact. Yeah.
I was literally about to say, like, the movement that's been behind this already from the MMA community, and just the feedback that he's been getting, the comments that he's been getting, the love and the support that he's been getting already as well, has just been phenomenal. I mean, it shows a complete different side to the sport that you don't see from a week to week basis, from social media aspects anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah,
well, it definitely takes you aback seeing one of the scariest blokes on the planet looking so vulnerable, right? It really hits everybody where it hurts, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, whenever the time is right for him, when he feels comfortable to come back into combat sports, we'll be here waiting to receive him with open arms. I'm definitely sure about that. Okay, let's switch gears here. I want to start with you here, Leroy, especially on that picture you just put up with Brian Ortega fight. Makes more sense than Max Holloway, says Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is saying that Max Holloway took him 3 fights and was not even anywhere near close to finishing Volkanovski. But in one fight, my guy that threw under the bus, reversed back, picked him back up, brought him to ride Shogun next to, man. Yeah, we're shameless like that. That's right.
Yeah, there's a quick turnaround there. Yeah. Then you started to say my guy. I was like, oh, fucking what, mate?
Yeah, but we're shameless like that. My guy brought him right back to ride Shogun with us. And now Ilia Topuria said, I want to give that guy a title shot. Leroy, I mean, Volkanovski obviously is your boy, and he's a great champion, one of the best champions.
Sorry,
one of the best
changed my
champions.
setup, and now my cord is too close. So I keep yanking it out. My bad.
Yeah, one of the best champions we've seen in the featherweight division. And Ilia Topuria is obviously showing that respect and saying, you know what, the guy that was closest to finishing him with T-City, that's the guy that I want to face. Do you think he's seeing that as a much easier fight, or do you think he's saying that because of the clapback from Max Holloway last week when he says a BMF does not beg for opportunities, the BMF puts things down, you know, any weight, anytime, anywhere. You don't say, "Oh yeah, I'll give you a title shot if you put your BMF on the line." Do you think that's why Ilia Topuria is going?
It's the
here?
same old
Or
thing.
He's really
Ola.
showing respect for Volkanovski.
No. It's the same old thing. It's the champion looking for the easiest fight possible, and I love Brian Ortega. But
you gotta
if you're the champion, you want the easiest
Do not
fight
call my
possible
guy
for
the
the most
easiest
money.
fight possible, man. What's wrong
Yeah,
with
but-
you?
okay, Who's
Do you see what he did
who's
to,
the one
did you
guy?
see what he did to Rodriguez, bro? About the
amazing.
easiest fight possible.
But
Stop it.
listen. So what are his options? Rematch Volkanovski, fight Max Holloway, or fight Brian Ortega? Who's the easiest one out of those three?
Are we sure Brian Ortega is an easy fight though? I mean, it's
Not
still
Ortega.
T-City.
No, I'm
We're
not
still
saying he's an
talking about
easy.
people.
I'm not saying he's an easy fight. I'm saying he's the easiest option on paper out of those three. I mean, the other two have already beaten Brian Ortega.
All right, Robbie.
Okay.
Carry on.
I guess in terms of MMA maths, fine.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, also a lot of people are sleeping on Topuria's ground game. Like, he's well established ground game. We talked about this on the live stream that going to the ground isn't an issue either. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Brian Ortega's levels ahead, but he might be able to, you know, at least if he gets caught in something, he might be able to see the round out and not have too much of an issue.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take. And while
I think he should fight Holloway. I think rematch Volkanovski. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, look, can you blow that up, Jordan? Is there any way you could? Yeah, there.
So this got dropped today.
Ilya said, "I never turned down the rematch with Alex, as the UFC has never offered me this fight. As I've said many times before, I will be the first to knock out Holloway. Let's keep this simple. Do you want to fight? If the answer is yes, there's nothing more to discuss. Bring my belt," and so forth. Max said,
sorry, bring my belt and your pillow.
And your pillow.
Bring my belt. This is still again back to the point that I made earlier on. This is still part of him still putting out there that, hey, listen, there's no undisputed title fight if you don't bring my belt along with you. Bring my belt with
It's
you.
not his belt though, is it? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
he's calling his belt. He's calling his belt. He wants that.
all right,
BMF.
okay. See, the next time you come to Scotland, you better bring me my car.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, that's not the way this shit works.
yeah,
better bring
look,
me my house
I'm
keys
just
too.
going. This is the first time I actually seen this tweet, and I'm just going by what he could be what it could be meaning by that. I mean, Yao, what do you take from what Ilia Topuria said there in terms of, you know, bringing his belt and still, you know, trying to lobby that with Max Holloway trying to get in on the BMF, or he's just going to look at Brian Ortega and say, you know what, I'm going to give you a shot instead of that guy that don't want to put his BMF belt on the line.
Look, I agree with what you said last week, and I agree with what you just said in terms of what that tweet looks like. Ilia Topuria is still saying, bring your BMF belt, and then you get a shot at the strap, which makes no sense because you're looking for number one contender. You're not looking to go and collect another random belt. You're not a BMF. BMF, as we all know, has no rules, but the rules do not say Ilia Topuria gets a shot. Unfortunately, in terms of whatever our common understanding of what the BMF is, because right now there are no rules. So I think, like you said, he needs to stop saying, give me this other belt. He needs to say, listen, I'm here to fight. I'm ready to fight. And as Leroy said, either give him Volkanovski in the rematch, because we all want to see it. We all want to see if he can do what he did again. which honestly, based on that performance, he probably might. We don't know. Or give him Max Holloway, because Holloway has proved that he can go up, he can win, he can stay at featherweight, and he can still dominate. He's lost to Volkanovski a few times, sure, but he is still a dominant force in MMA. So I say, Topuria, stop playing games. Let's have a fight. Pick someone that's worthwhile. Not that T-City isn't, but the question is, has T-City earned a title shot right now? And the answer, I think, is a no, unfortunately. So based on that, T-City might need to have one more fight, then be in, but I don't think it's the right time for a title shot for the one and only Brian T-City Ortega.
I kind of disagree a little bit there. You don't beat the interim champion and in Yair Rodriguez, and then don't have a right of passage to the title, especially if the champion is willing to give you a shot. You know, that's just my thing. But
is
my
that
thing,
the difference between them
brother?
And Austin Berry's in the house. What's up?
Yo, big up Austin Berry. Salute to you, Austin Berry.
Back.
Big up yourself, my bro. Yeah, man.
It's not true what McDane says about you, man.
McDane, let me ask you this. Do you think Topuria? I feel like Topuria is going around about this the wrong way. For me, I would say go and beat Max Holloway. Beat Max Holloway so bad that he wants to put that BMF on the line just to get back at having a title shot, rather than doing it this way in terms of begging for the chance to get his hands on the BMF belt. I think he should, if he really wants that BMF belt, go and beat Holloway, and then when you beat him the first time, then the man's coming back and say, you know what, actually I'm going to put that BMF on the title. Let me get another shot at that title there. What do you think?
Nah, like
That's wrong.
he can't.
It's wrong.
Like, no, that is completely wrong. Nah, he's not getting that BMF belt. It's not the way that it fucking works. Yeah, I mean, like, from even the way that this belt has been laid out. And again, I've never been the biggest advocate of the BMF belt. I thought it should have been a one and done, but here we are. And then after the Gaethje Holloway fight, I was like, yes, the fucking BMF belt's the bee's knees. But fuck, mate, no, he shouldn't be getting it. He should be fighting for the featherweight champ, and that's it. Yeah, I mean. I've even put it on Twitter. I've spoke about it before with Arnold Allen. Like, are you even the featherweight champ if you haven't had to face Max Holloway? Really? Like, you skipped a motherfucking beat to get to that. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you beat Volkanovski 100%. Laid him out flat, and what a fucking dig it was. Wasn't the same Volkanovski that faced Max either, though. Like, and again, that's just MMA maths that I'm throwing out there. But at the same time, like, nah, stand up. Ortega doesn't deserve the fight yet. Even he said himself he needs to get one more fight under the belt before he even gets another title shot. So, yeah, this motherfucker was talking about going up weight classes and down weight classes and fighting all around the world before he was even getting anywhere near Max. And now all of a sudden he's pinging out Bible verses the length of fucking, the length of a 747. And it's just like, mate, shut up. Just fight the man and see what happens. Like, yeah, that's all I want to see.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you have Manel Cape basically saying, let me see Izzy in the street. I'll fuck him up too. Did y'all see this?
No, I never seen that one.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean,
he basically said, "I'm undefeated in the streets, bro."
Man, okay. Look, that brother is a wild guy, man. He's a wild guy, bro. And look, he believes he can do this. You know,
but he's giving you that bro talk, like. Oh man, I fought heaps of blokes that are way bigger than me, like, and I beat them all. Like, that's brutal.
I see my little Pomeranian do that to my fucking big fucking French bulldog, man. Like,
did you guys forget the size discrepancy here? Hold on, look at this. Look at the size discrepancy.
Like, he believes it, man. Hey, man like Mano, man. You know what I mean? Man like Mano.
Is that going to be a Netflix series? Yeah, I mean, he'll be standing in the park just barking at big dogs as they're walking by.
Man like Mano, man.
That shit is wild. There's no fucking way.
He believes it. He believes
it.
He
can believe it all he wants. He can believe it while he's sleeping.
I'm not talking about the outcome. I've not even gone anywhere near outcomes. I'm just talking about the man's belief in himself to really say, put Easy in the streets and I'll fuck him up. Like, bro, You know,
don't get me wrong, right? Leroy was saying before.
That's self-belief at the highest.
You
highest
do need
level,
to be
but
delusional, but like,
Yeah.
I mean,
like you've got to believe in yourself. I mean, that one's a bit insane, but when it comes back to like Ilya and Max, like I get it. Ilya's like, he's the champ. He's going to have all this extra confidence now. The boy absolutely fucking punches like a truck, and he's got some wicked wrestling. He ain't going to be breaking Max's chin like he thinks he's going to be, though. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
He
Fuck.
survived
Hold on.
Gaethje.
Here's a good headline
Yeah,
for you.
right.
Demetrius Johnson says he could beat, I don't know, Tom Aspinall. Like, you have self-belief. Good on you. Like, it's not happening. In no world does that happen.
in a BJJ fight.
This is DJ we're talking about.
What,
bro.
is
That
it
one-
BJJ? I was
Even-
just-
seen
and people
this
were all
brother
thinking the same
wrestle
thing.
with a fucking
even
big mega
in
dude the other week.
BJJ, even in BJJ, still doesn't matter.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't matter.
Fucking G.
Yeah, I don't know if even if you could, like, it's hard to say, especially with somebody like Tom that's so good, so vast, extensive knowledge in BJJ as well. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Izzy would be sitting in the room next to them, punch him in the face. The range discrepancy there. There's just no fucking chance.
Nah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Big up M. Salute to you. Thank you for joining us this evening. And Osterberry says here, Max is 10-7. 10-7 Ilya in this two, 10-7 Ilya in these two exchanges. I mean, Max is good when it comes to this fucking crazy stuff, man. Like fucking that's Max's world. And we have to remember Ilya only just starting to learn to speak English properly, but so he can't go bar for bar. You know what I mean?
On the point on that, right? So he does
with Max.
He does speak pretty good English so far, but so obviously there's that clip when Max knocked out Gaethje, and you got Topuria at the side, and he's like
looking shook.
Yeah, like, was he shocked, or did he just not understand what this motherfucker was saying when he was on the mic? Because it was on the mic when he was kind of just like, what's everybody cheering for? Like, what the fuck are these guys saying? Or was that motherfucker shook? It's a two-way street on this.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's fair.
No, for real. We have a next topic here on the docket, and I want to come to. I'm actually going to stick with McDane on this one. Bobby Knuckles, he says he's not afraid of your boy Hamza. Yeah, that boy got £20 taken out of my pocket, man. Right. You know what I mean? I'm still hating on that. Hopefully, Bobby Knuckles comes back and does something against this guy here. But he says he's not afraid of Hamza's grappling, and he can wrestle with the best of them. We've seen him go 10 rounds, even though there weren't much wrestling there with Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero is someone that a lot of MMA communities still regard as a very good wrestler, even though he doesn't use it as you know, as much as he really should use it. But what's your take on Whitaker saying he's not afraid of Hamza's grappling? Should he be? Because Hamza at 185, obviously we haven't seen his cardio going into 5 rounds, but Hamza in the first 3 rounds, it looks like he can take care of himself, especially in the grappling, to ragdoll somebody like Usman the way he did. In that first exchanges. Please talk to us.
100%. Hamza in the first round is very, very dangerous. Can the Reaper survive that intensity? Yes. And then when we get into the second round, the third round, the fourth round, and we're seeing Hamza gas like a motherfucker, that's when the Reaper's going to turn it up again, man. He's going to take a soul. You know what I mean? He's just going to start like point jabbing his face off. He's going to be working from the outside. Like, you know what I mean? Bobby Knuckles is going to fucking...
That's why you refuse that double or quit.
That's why I ain't putting a bet on this one, bitch.
That's why you
know I
refuse
was
that
going
double
for
or
the
quit.
Reaper on this one. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I can understand why he's not scared of him. And don't get me wrong, like, saying not scared of him, like, I think all of these men have some fear when they're walking in there. Who fucking wouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, you're going in there against somebody that's training to kill you and you're training to kill them. You're going to have some level of fear walking in there. But I think he knows if he can get through that first round, then the fight's his. And that's the most dangerous round for him.
You know what Whitaker's going to do, yeah? It's exactly what Yah would say. Kick him in the head! He's absolutely gonna flog the shit out of Hamzat. I don't think it's gonna be close at all.
That's not based at all.
Hey, yo, is this the Aussie in Leroy talking, or is it disrespecting?
I was
Hamza
this
here?
motherfucker drunk.
You know what I mean?
Look, based on the Reaper's last fight where he got kicked in the head by Paulo Costa, I'm not so sure about that. Look, to say I'm not scared of Khamzat is like saying I'm not scared of Drickus, and we saw what happened with the Reaper against Drickus. Unfortunately, he underestimated Drickus's whatever Drickus does, because no one really understands what Drickus's style is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
but it
awkward,
wins
man.
fights. It's
Just call
awkward.
it just call it the awkward style. Man.
Well,
You know
so
what I mean?
what
The
Whitaker
Dricus
was
style.
saying was he's not scared. Basically, his whole game plan is, his whole approach is, I'm going to attempt to enforce my game plan and at the same time nullify yours. I mean, if the grappling's there, the grappling's there. I honestly, I don't see how there's an issue. Like, I think that Hamzat's got the grappling advantage. Don't get me wrong, but you've actually got to do something with it. Whitaker's got great takedown defense. I mean, he fought Jacare Souza. He fought Yoel Romero twice. Like, he can clearly do it. He beat them both.
I just think he's not ready for Khamzat. Personally, I think Khamzat is slightly more ready. Let's go with age. Let's go with the hunger. The Reaper's been there. So he's got the experience. He's got the pedigree. But Khamzat's got, let's say, the skill and the hunger right now.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. But there's also something to consider here too. Hamza isn't the monster that everybody thinks he is. All right, he's up at 185 now. He's not cutting bullshit weight and beating up on the 170s. Yeah. So no one's getting no one's getting intimidated with just pure strength.
You see how you see how Leroy got chest and how he's talking crazy when it comes to these Australians. I said something about Volkanovski earlier on, and he was quick to rubbish Brian Ortega. Now look how quick he's rubbishing Hamza. You know, like any other fighter, you will not hear Leroy.
Who does that sound like
this?
when it comes? Who does that sound like when it comes to Nigerians? Huh?
Wait, no,
Who does that
really
sound like when it comes to the? You say one bad word about a Nigerian man, and this dude's going to be at your front door knocking on it within about 5
Well,
minutes.
that's about Sadiq Yusuf, Jordan.
Bailiffs as well, man.
Mate, me and Sadiq have just ironed shit out. We are now best friends. You know what I mean, best fucking friends forever. Like,
thanks to me, right?
Yeah, how did that actually, McDane? How did that actually? I don't know.
So I seen a comment, and I was like, how the fuck is that like blocked out? Why can't I see it? So I clicked on it. I was like, bro, that's Sadiq Yusuf. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why is this man blocked me? Like, I like his content. Like, as I said, even in the prediction show, like, I like his style. He's got incredible fight IQ. Like, he's a fantastic fighter. He just had a couple of like unlucky performances. You know what I mean? But I enjoy watching him fight, and like I say, I like his content. The videos that he puts out are funny. Like, the tweets that he puts out is funny. His Substack's funny. Like, everything that he does, I enjoy. And I was actually gutted when I was like, "What the fuck did I do to offend this man, to piss this man off, to deserve getting fucking blocked?" So I put it on Twitter. Like, what the fuck? Like, if anybody, somebody reach out to Sadiq and tell him I don't know what I've done, but I'm sorry, bro.
Well, that's what
I took it upon myself and used all the connections I got in the world to make sure that my bro McDane is back in Sadiq Yusuf's good books. And
Did you really?
Basically, what Ola
Was it actually you, or are you just trying to claim some fucking?
Ola just dropped a message in the Nigeria group chat.
Yeah,
on,
this one's from Nigeria, brother. Yeah, I mean, like, mate.
No, that shit got nothing
yeah.
to do. If you had anything to do with me, man, it will block you for fucking life, mate. You will be fucking getting unblocked, bro.
I know, yeah, you will be getting unblocked. I mean,
if you had anything to do with
you'd be getting blocked on YouTube too. Like, I was like, fuck.
All right, and guys,
man.
whatever you're watching this on, whether it's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, smash the like button, smash the subs for both Fight Week Show and for Rambling Dad. And don't forget, I'll kick him in the head.
Yeah, man. Make sure you do that.
So now I just need to get Sadiq on the podcast and actually be like, right, what was the crack, mate? What did I do? Yeah, I mean,
no. Don't go that road. Go down the other road and like try and start some more shit.
Yeah, get some clips out there. Nah,
yeah, man.
I mean, the tweet turned into a bunch of dudes hating on fighters, and I'm like, what's all this about, man? This was not the intention of the tweet, but it's it's dying down now, so it's quiet enough.
Fucked up. Salute to Tayyib Hussein. Salute to you, my bro. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. I see Naz in the chat there as well. Captain Motion, big up yourself. Cardio Geo as well. Mr. Nice Guy, thank you very much for joining us. Big up everybody.
Big up, Mr. Nice
in
Guy.
the cut.
Mr. Nice Guy, what's happening, brother?
Yeah, man. Big up
The
everybody.
man with some of the sickest fight cards you'll see on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm genuinely envious of what he makes. It's
man, 100%. Big up, Mr. Nice Guy.
Nice Guy.
And before we get on to that next topic that we got coming up, the Rambling Dad dropped a video today, people. If you haven't seen it, please make sure you're going onto his page. Make sure you're heading down to after this video. Make sure you're going down to the Rambling Dad podcast channel and checking out the latest video that dropped today. Yeah, and there's big gems in there for you lot. This is just me and my bro Magdane chopping it up about the life in the space and how everything came about. So make sure you go over there, check it out, and show it some love, people.
Where did you put it?
Of the Fight Week show.
We're here. We're working. We're always busy.
That's it. And unfortunately, we actually fucking paid you some respect too, you Australian.
I may or may not have seen it when
You've
it was recorded.
I waited on that coming out of the bag for the next time I give you shit. You're just like, bro, I thought you thought me about this. Like, how's this? How's it turned?
Yeah,
how's the tables turned?
No, for real, man. Yeah, people make sure you're going over there and showing you some love. For real.
Speaking of paying respects, guys, how about Armin's punishment here? What the actual fuck?
Heavy.
Yeah, tell us more about that, Leroy.
NSAC to withhold 20% of Armin's purse following punching fan at UFC 300. I'm going to come straight off the bat and say that if any fighter, the first card, and I'm at the event and they punch me in the face, that is like right at the top of best moments in my life. Like, if anything, he deserves a punch a fan in the face bonus. I don't know. Like, that sounds amazing to me. I
think Dana will probably sort him out with that.
I think Dana would pay it, but this isn't soccer. This isn't tennis. This is fighting. Like, this is what we love.
It's the fight game, but at the same time, I can see why the commission have taken this stance, because they still have to send a message to all the fighters that your hands and your legs are fucking licensed fucking weapons, man.
Well, what about the message to the fans that are instigating?
No.
True. But you also need to think, like, the commission aren't the fighter's boss, right?
No,
Dana White and the UFC is their boss. So if anything, find the promotion that will then.
But they regulate the rules. The commission enforces
McDane's
and regulate the rules. The commission enforces.
I get what you said. Well, they commission the fight and they can set the terms of it. They're not setting whether you can go and punch a fucking fan and what I can tag you and your money on for it. You know what I mean? Like, again, like I say, yeah, make your rules, commission the fight, allow it to be in that venue, in that state, wherever the fuck it is, right? Fair enough. But you can't go and punish a dude who you don't even employ. Like, you'll find the promotion for something like that happening. Then the promotion needs to go and deal with the fighter. That's the way I see it.
I think that would be the appropriate approach, because then, I mean, ultimately, I don't think anything should happen at all. I think it's just like one of the awesome quirks about our sport, and then we just move on. Like, maybe Dana says, "Hey guys, try not to punch fans in the face on the way out to the ring," and call it a day.
Yao, you have a similar thought process to what they're saying, or you have an alternate one to share?
I agree. It's not that big a deal. Although
20% is a big fucking deal, though.
Fucking is. Somebody take 20% of your salary, bro. You're just gonna sit there and boy, that ain't a big deal.
Okay, financially, that is a big deal for Sarukian. But in terms of the punishment and the, I guess, the event or what happened there, I think it's not that big a deal. Fortunately, it doesn't happen very often that fighters get involved with fans. And I think it is a message to say, listen, if fans piss you off, let them piss you off. They're fans. You're here. You're a professional. As McDane said, you are here. You are licensed to do this. You're not around here to mess around with fans. And if they are messing with you, there's security for a reason. So I say it's not that big a deal in terms of, fighters engaging fans, punching fans. But yes, I think something should have been done. 20% is a big number, but now everyone's gonna know. Look, just don't fuck around with fans. Like, let them be whatever they are. You don't know who they're supporting. You don't know where you are. Let them be who they are and do what you're there to do, which is beat up the next guy. So look, I'm all for the fine. I wouldn't say fine the promotion. It was an individual action by the fighter, even though he's surrounded by security. So how much more would the promotion be responsible for?
I don't even think he managed to hit the
done
dude.
what they need to do.
He just swung at him. He didn't actually hit him.
It still goes through.
Yeah.
And probably that's
crazy, man. For 20%, and this is how I say it, right? I think instead of them actually trying to punish Sarukian, the fan that swung at him first should be banned, should be fined. They should take action on the fan, because at the end of the day, again, there's set of rules where you can't really go around trying to assault or even, you know what I mean? If you're gonna,
I don't think he did. I think he just flipped him off, gave him the finger. I mean, imagine trying to fine every single fan at a football game that's just giving a player the finger. Like, you'd be fucked.
Yeah, it's not,
but like the lesson here is because us fans, we always get a little bit. We always try to wear bigger shoes than what we should, right?
We see Cantona do some madness, bro. Like, bro, like, you know what I mean? We see your boy do some madness, Margie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, bro, these things can happen, and I still think the way, look, the fans probably grateful that Sarukian, that's probably the biggest fight moment in his life as a fight fan. That action
he actually said that.
It was 100% of what I'm saying.
It was his first ever event. He'd never been one to before. He said that he just let the hype and the emotion and all of it, the experience, get to him. He flipped him off as he was walking out. He goes, "I'm not going to press charges, but if Dana wants to chuck me some free tickets for the Conor McGregor fight," but Dana's sitting there going, "Fuck you, kid! Like, you ain't getting nothing." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dana's sitting flipping him off back.
So
but then obviously,
speaking of NSAC. Disciplinary actions. Here's the most egregious one by far. What the actual fuck? Commission withhold 5K from Diego Lopez. 5K for jumping the gate, like jumping the fence after he won.
That's crazy.
Absolutely wild.
I mean, what's going on with the commission nowadays, man? Like the way,
I think they're just power tripping hard.
No, on this one, different states have different rules against cage hopping, and for reasons like what happened between Khabib and McGregor, and other reasons, like you might have a fighter who has done something or had something illegal, jumps over, lets it go, comes back in. So they do have very specific rules in different states against either going over the cage or onto the cage or out of the cage after the fight before the result has been announced. So
you're suggesting that possibly one of the reasons is if they had something in their glove.
For example.
What was the cut man doing before they walked into the cage?
Taking a bribe. You never know. If the cut man took a bribe and this person had something in their glove and they need to get rid of it after the fight, it's gone. So there are specific commissions that have rules against leaving the cage. And
I get what you're saying, but how wild is that, bro? Like, that's
I get what you're saying, but that's soft. Like, that is
that's some like action movie bullshit. That's Roadhouse 2.
I mean, what's to stop your corner from coming in, celebrating with you, and taking it off you there?
I know, that's like Sugar Sean covering himself in Vaseline. Like, not a chance, man.
Exactly.
I don't know.
That's
I get that there's rules. Like, you can't just go Khabib style and just jump into the crowd and start swinging like a madman. Obviously, that's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm. But you need to think of the build up towards that fight as well, and the bad blood that was there. Like, something was going to happen that should have had more security and shouldn't have happened 100%. But when you're looking at something of just a clear win, jump in the cage and celebrating, fuck me, man, give the guy a break. Like,
yeah, he's gonna be a star, but he's not earning that much yet. And 5K, that's a big hit.
No, that's a lot. That's a lot of stack, man. You know what I mean?
I actually don't know how much he's on, but yeah.
No, that's a lot. That's a lot for real. Before we move on to the next topic, Magdane, if you're cool to run them slides. Oh yeah, Leroy's got them. We're going to talk about Brave CF real quick.
I keep
we've been
saying
doing.
Brave FC as well because
Yeah. It's kind of modeled because most of these promotions are FCs. But we got CF over here. Brave CF. They're coming to Mauritius in Africa, and all of us in this panel are doing some kind of work to help promote this card to help raise awareness for this card. And people, if you're watching it, please, if there's any way that you guys can definitely show some love on their pages, and in fact watch the fight when it happens on the 11th of May. That would be absolutely awesome. We spoke to Nicholas Wende today and Nkosi Dembele today. The two guys are main eventing and co-main eventing the actual card, and make sure you keep an eye out for that. That's going to be dropping very, very soon, at least just before the fight week of that card. Yao, you got one or two things to say about this card and the work you've been doing for Brave CF for Mauritius?
I have more than one or two things to say about Brave CF
you have the
and
floor.
the card that's coming. I have lots to say. I'm so excited about this card. I've been following Brave CF, and the CF stands for Combat Federation. I've been following Brave since sometime last year. It's been about a year. And the one fight that brought me into Brave, and the one fighter that brought me into Brave, is on this card. It was his debut fight, and I'm very excited. We have him on Monday. It's Elisa King Kong Kubanza. So this card, if you look at it from the perspective of Middle East martial arts and what's MMA and what's happening in the Africa region, for them to come down into Mauritius to have this event for the second, I think the third time, is a real coup for African fighters. If you have a look there, we've got 7 African fighters on this card. We've got Nkosi the Future Ndebele in the first ever Brave trilogy against Shorty Torres. And this fight has been in the making since Ndebele lost in Colombia to Torres, where Torres had some home ground advantage. Then they went in for the rematch in Bahrain, and Ndebele won. With glitz and glamour, it was an amazing event. He came through and he dominated to the point where Shorty Torres verbally submitted. He quit in the middle of the fight. And now that just shows the skill and the quality of Nkosi the Future Ndebele. And now they're up for the trilogy on home territory for Nkosi. Really looking forward to that fight. Then the co-main event is Nick the Saint Wende, one of my favorite fighters. Nick was the first champion that I saw winning in the EFC when I started going to EFC. So absolutely love Nick Wende. His gym is right down the road. Cover's is right down the road from where I stay. I'm really looking forward to him in his third fight in Brave. If he wins this fight, he goes for a title shot, whether it's against Shorty Torres or against Nkosi the Future. So it's an absolutely stacked card that's happening. We've got Lutando Biko fighting. We've got Ananias Mulamba fighting as well. And like I said, Elisa King Kong Kubanza with a head kick win in his first Brave fight, in his debut fight. This card is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to all the fights on this with all these skilled fighters. And there's one fighter here, Gitnov, who also trains, and I think you like this, Ola, with the one and only Khabib and Islam up in Dagestan. So it's going to be good to see, the Dagestani wrestling coming back into Brave, because we know Khamzat obviously is an ex-Brave fighter. He's not Dagestani, but okay, he's Chechnyan.
Yeah,
he wrestled.
Leroy, I mean, from what you've seen of the card, some of the fighters that's been mentioned on there, people like Luthando Biko, these guys are guys that we have knowledge of. What's your take on the whole card, and what's been your takeaway from working on some of the stuff that we've been working on so far?
It would definitely seem like Brave is not pulling any punches with setting up this card, and just from the fighters alone that we've spoken to, they're all fucking amped to be in Mauritius for one, and to get this card happening. Like, they're all ready to go. I think this is going to be an awesome card. It's going to be right up there. You've seen talent that's come from the EFC, just like y'all was saying. Like, I don't know, it really is like a Middle East versus Africa kind of showdown on this one, really. All I'll say is this: if you see an Iranian fighter on the card, probably back him.
Okay. That That's
my betting advice.
Don't come and look. Don't come and look for me on that advice when it goes left. Yeah, Leroy. That's the guy. That's the guy to be knocking on his door. McDane. I mean, you're also looking to do one or two things on this very event here. You've been talking to one of the organizers. What are your thoughts on this actual event and then bringing it to Mauritius in the way that it's a record-breaking event for them. This is the fourth time they'll bring it to Africa, and they're probably one of the only promotions that's really done that. What's your take on all of it?
Mate, like the boys were saying, I mean, looks like an absolute stat card. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know everything about Brave. I've probably tuned into a couple of cards so far, but this one looks unbelievable. And to be getting a trilogy that's now going across 3 different continents, I mean, it's like it's screaming glory. Like you say, the guys in there are absolutely like ready. Every single one of them are solid, and I can't wait to start speaking to some of these guys, sit down and watch the fights and see how it goes, and listen to some of the stories of these killers once I had to get to speak to them. I'm just trying to line up a couple of interviews with them, and we potentially might have a digital press conference to sit down and speak to some of them too, which will be awesome. But yeah, overall, card looks stacked, and like you say, bringing it to Africa again, they're laying some foundations down there, just like the EFC are in Africa, for other promotions to come over in the future, like the UFC, now that they have DDP at the helm.
Yeah.
And just
100%.
a little tidbit for you: the average age of the fighters is 28, so they're not new to the game, but they're not past the prime, right? They're going to be firing on all cylinders,
swinging
from top to bottom.
100%. So people, if you just cutting your teeth in MMA, these promotions are the promotions you need to look for. These are the promotions that you really need to go and watch. Some of these up and coming fighters as well, and
put together a really good product as well. Like you're not losing out on anything.
100%. You get to know these fighters before they even before they make a big name for themselves
before they become middleweight champion of the world.
You know what I mean, in the UFC and stuff like that. So these are some of the fighters that that you need to get to know, and these guys are bloody good. They are about that life, every single one of them, and they bring it, and it's not going to be no different when it comes to this card from Brave. Let's move on to the next topic. Justin Gaethje, still 1 win away from the Islam fight.
As spoken by Daniel
Cormier says a lot of things.
He says a lot of wild shit.
Boy, I threw him under the bus against Max Holloway. In fact, I'm the only one to do so, and I was right.
You're on the money. Listen, just before we get too far away from this, on the Richter scale of fucking stupid shit that Daniel Cormier says, where does this fall? This is pretty reasonable from Daniel Cormier.
I put it right in the middle. I was going to give you a 5.
It's not too wild. It's wild if you don't add that Daniel Cormier said it.
For me, I'm only giving a 5 because of the biasness that I have towards Justin. I don't know about you guys and what you think. I have a certain biasness towards Justin. You know what I mean? With the stable dominance MMA, Ali Abdulaziz trains with us. Like there's so many things, and not to talk about his fighting style that's always explosive. Regardless of what you get from Justin Gaethje, win, lose or draw, you're gonna get an exciting fight out of him. So for those reasons is why I'm giving that biasness. But I don't know what Jordan and Yao thinks about it. Let's go to Jordan first.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember me saying before. I'm sure Dana said in that press conference of UFC 299 when they brought Holloway and Gaethje on that regardless of what happens in this fight, Gaethje's next for Islam. But it was always like, cause I think at that stage they weren't expecting Islam to be back until like September or something. Anyway, they thought he was going to be back much later. I don't think they expected Gaethje to get knocked the fuck out by Max Holloway in such fashion that he did, that he would probably need like a 6-month layoff to see where he was at, maybe a little bit more time than that. Yeah, 1 fight away though. I don't know. I think they need to see how things play out with Poirier, and then obviously they've got Arman Saryukin now knocking at the door, and I think there's too many moving parts now to to see one fight, but it's the highlight. You know what I mean? Are you going to stop him if he goes out and gets like one incredible finish on somebody next? What's
Who
going to
very
stop him?
You
capable
mean
of
like
doing.
over Dustin Poirier or something?
Well, why would he go against Dustin Poirier? Like he already did, you know what I mean? But why would he go? Like Poirier is going for the title, so unless Poirier beat him and they try to line that up, like that.
I don't see a path for him.
I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
Yeah, fuck it, 100%. You would watch it.
You know,
But, I don't know.
But it's just a case of, do you actually see Poirier getting it done against Islam? That's
This is that last shot at a title for Dustin Poirier towards the end of his career, which makes him a very, very fucking dangerous man. Like, they just put him in there with a top prospect, somebody that was looking like an absolute killer, who ragdolled him for 2 rounds until he just got knocked out. Yeah, I mean, he got flatlined. Like Benoit Saint-Denis was all over him, smothered him for most of that fight. And then all of a sudden, Poirier with that slick boxing, bop, boom, good night. Like, remember the fucking name Dustin Diamond Poirier, son. Put some extra hot sauce on that shit and walk the fuck off. Yeah, I mean, like, I think he's a dangerous guy. And we've seen Islam get cracked, but if he jumps the gill, he's fucked. Just saying that now.
What makes you say that he's at the end of his career, though?
What is he, 36? I think he's even
35.
said it. 35 going on 36. Like, I think he's even said
but
himself,
it's
he's
also
not got
the
much left in
mileage
him.
on Dustin Poirier, though, man. He's been around
been
for
in
a
some wars,
long
like,
time. You know what I mean? It's also the mileage on him. You know what I mean? We can look at his age.
I actually think that that's not an issue. I think the real issue is that he's kind of done a lot of what he set out to do, and his interests are taking him elsewhere, like his foundation, like his business that he's trying to get going, like all the community stuff that he's trying to do in Lafayette. I think that's going to be what's pulling him away more than anything.
Yeah,
I think it might also be the title opportunities. Like, he's fought the best dudes in the top 10 constantly, consistently. I mean, he's had some of the biggest names within the lightweight division over the course of his career. What's he in it for now? Is he in it for
but he said it himself
or...
that he's only taking fights that really interest him.
Yeah.
You know? And obviously a title fight would be something that interests you naturally. But
if he's going to be cherry picking fights like that as well. If he's going to be cherry picking fights like that as well, man, you know what I mean? I don't know if the promotion is going to be with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I haven't gotten your take on this whole, you know, Justin just needing one fight to get back to a title picture. Even the stuff with Poirier here in terms of his age and the mileage that he's got on the clock in MMA.
Look, and I just put it into the comments. I think Gaethje deserves a title shot, same as we are seeing Poirier get a title shot. For me, I would like to see Makhachev Poirier. Presumably he beats Poirier. Let's say he beats Poirier. Then Makhachev Gaethje. Hopefully Gaethje would be healthy by then. Simply because if we look at, you know, where he is on the standings, I think he's number 2. He should still be number 2, Gaethje. And if we look at the work he's put in and who he's beaten and the fact that, sure, he lost to Max Holloway, but I think he definitely should get the title shot after the Islam-Poirier fight. However, if Poirier wins, do we want to see him go up against do we want to see the trilogy between Gaethje and Poirier? The Justin fight again? I don't know. So I think I want to see him fight for the title. Unfortunately, his chances have been dented by the fact that he took the BMF fight and he got knocked clean, cold out. So let's see what happens. But I think I really want to see him up there, getting another title shot, seeing if he can actually beat, let's say, Makhachev or Poirier in the next fight. But I don't think Poirier is going to take it. Makhachev's just going to be, I guess, too skillful. Team Khabib on that one, definitely.
Yeah, man. Let's see how that all plays out. Mr. Nice Guy here says, how do you watch the event with Brave CF in Mauritius? I want to say keep an eye on all our socials. Come Fight Week, we're going to post everything. We're going to be posting a lot of information, a lot of interviews, a lot of how
just
to
go to bravechef.com. They got all the info you need there.
How to do all of that stuff. We're going to be posting about all of that. Keep an eye on it on our socials, or like Leroy just said, go to bravecf.com and all the information should be on there as well.
And I've just dropped a link in the chat.
And there you go. Yao's just dropped that link right there. So yeah, just go and check that out, and you should have all that information for you. And yeah, big up Mr. Nice Guy, at least. You know what I mean? If he's one extra eye that's, you know, that we got on that fight there, I'm happy with it. People, make sure you are supporting that event right there. Cardio Geo here, I like what he says. He says Dustin Poirier and Diaz got to run it before they are done.
Diaz isn't already well and truly over the hill.
Yeah, but
Which
one
Diaz?
here, though, this one
Which
here
Diaz?
will have a nostalgia to it.
Nick or Nate? Which one are you saying?
No. I'm going Nate on this one, man. Like, yeah, it's got to be Nate, man. You know what I mean? And he's a former BMF, or at least BMF contender. Not BMF contender. You know what I mean? He did fight for the belt, lost. I cursed New York. I cursed New York and the doctor stoppage policy on the eyelids, man. Like,
it's gonna be a doctor's stoppage on the way out to the cage,
off, man. You know what I mean? That brother had you could sneeze on him and the scar tissues just peel off, but like, just let the brother fight, man. That ain't never stopped Nate from fighting before, man. You know what I mean? Just let Nate get to it.
It'd be a great one for the fans. It'd be a great one for the fans just to watch it for sure.
Yeah.
What's not so great for the fans though, guys, is the start time for UFC 304.
Ooh. That one there.
Big Dane, how does this make you feel, mate?
I've fucking come to terms with it, me boys. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, fuck me. They ain't gonna change it. It's obviously leaning towards the American audience. Like the pay-per-view, as I've mentioned before, like pay-per-view sales in the UK, you're talking $20 for like, so TNT Sports, formerly BT Sports, have a TV package deal with the UFC to have the exclusive to promote it and actually air it in the UK. No other channel does it in the UK. You know what I mean? So they clearly pay whatever they pay to be able to do that. And then they get to choose, I think it's 5 pay-per-views in the year that they'll decide, right, we're making this box office. And that's $19.99. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, but what you're not considering here is the gate. The people who are paying tickets to go to this event live.
Bro, it's going to sell. It's going to fucking sell for sure. So what are you saying? So what are you saying? So what are you saying?
Is, why am I paying so much to stay up till 8 a.m. while we're fighting here? Like, while I'm like I think it's crazy.
To watch cunts punch other cunts in the face?
Yeah, I'm down.
What else do you sit up until 6 o'clock in the morning watching fights for? I know you are, mate, and I'm not fucking having it. You can ask you, the devil Leroy, on your shoulders just got
you're playing devil's advocate. You're definitely playing that devil's advocate for me. I'm with you on what you're saying. Like,
that's because you're
hold
old.
on, what? This is the thing here with McDane. McDane, you know, you just indirectly cost Yao. Yeah, it was his birthday the other day. This brother
you're older. You're older than Yao. Don't you fucking start trying to drop this man.
Let me deflect.
This motherfucker still got youth. Yeah, I mean, this motherfucker got youth.
He might not have any hair, but he's still got his youth.
Let me deflect in peace, man. You know, I was deflected in peace, bro. You know what I mean? Jesus. But listen, for me, I'm thinking to myself, like, hold on, how do we spend all these nights watching events across the globe at ungodly hours, and we do it week in, week out, and then when they come to our shores, in terms of they come to Ireland, they come to Paris, they come to England, we get to say, you know what, at least we get to watch it like they watch it over there in the States, right? Or in Canada.
But you just answered your own question. Your own question. It's all about the money, man, and the money is paying $80 plus for a pay-per-view.
Bro, they are charging an arm and a leg for this fucking ticket. Did you see how much they charge?
If I want to watch this event live, I have to pay 4 times as much as you do. And now, now the fan base, most of the fan base is in the US as well. So 4 times, that means I get 4 votes to your 1 vote at what time this card starts.
And people are saying this like it's the first time they're coming to the fucking UK, and we're just going, "Oh, you're making us stay up till 7 o'clock."
I feel bad for the fighters.
I don't want to stay up till 7 o'clock to watch our event. That's
to completely readjust all of their fucking fight schedules, the sleep schedules, everything. It's bullshit for the home fighters. Where's the home advantage there? That's how I'm looking at it. And it was interesting to see Tom Aspinall going, "Do you know what? I'm not asked about that. Like, I've got to do it when I go elsewhere anyway. I'm more concerned about the fans," which was cool to see. But at the same time, like, bro, they've just done 4 cards in the UK where they done it to our time when they were at the O2. And again, is it licensing conditions that the O2 set compared to what they can do in Manchester, the Co-op Arena? Is that what's like, I mean, because you're going to have different alcohol licensing laws, everything. People are either going to be hitting the Colombian marching powder or they're going to be sleeping. It's going to be going one way or the other. But that crowd,
there's going to be plenty of skiers.
Yeah, there'll definitely be. I mean, like fucking those Twin Peaks that Leroy's always talking about. Like, there'll be a few of those kicking about. Like, mate, it is what it is, boys. It is what it is.
I mean, your time zone is not too far from you're only an hour ahead of us. Like, what are you making of all this crazy? They bring you to the UK. This is supposed to be a nice time. You can do a barbecue right there, you know what I mean, while the fight's going on, drinking some beers, and now they're gonna make us stay up to ungodly hours to watch. This is gonna happen in July, bro. You know
I was looking forward to the breakfast beers.
Sunny over here in the UK, and we don't enjoy that too much. You know what I mean? We don't enjoy the good weather too much, man. And the one time they bring you over to Manchester, and they wanna kill us with the time, man. What's going on?
Look, I think like the two gents said, it's all about the money. And unfortunately, similar as to why they haven't come to Africa, there's certain things that don't happen if the money's not there. And having the fights broadcast at your time is one of them. So for me, I would have honestly, I didn't expect it to be at 3 a.m. I didn't think they would do that. I thought they would have a little bit more respect, to be honest, for not just the UK fans, but just for time and people and life in the world. But they have put it at 3 a.m. in the UK, which means fans are traveling to the arena at what time? 2 a.m. Oh, okay, well, where fans will do it, it means less traffic. Great.
Prelims start at 11 p.m. So all I'm going to say is have your fucking ass in your seat by 10:30 and get a nap if that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? Sleep that shit out. Wake up for the main card.
That's my strategy, you know.
Exactly.
That's my strategy, man.
Or we'll be walking out there like somebody just fucking punched him in the chin.
So long as you don't try and sleep while you're standing up again, mate.
Yeah, mate. Timber.
In all honesty, I think as much as we're complaining about the time, you guys are still blessed to have it coming to you guys. We're still over here hungry, desperate, dying for UFC Africa, which is still not happening. So look, kudos, at least it's happening. And it's not even in London, it's in Manchester. So that's a very, very exciting place to be. So yeah, I'm hoping that despite the time, despite this ridiculous 11 p.m. early prelim start time, Jordan, I'll see you early prelim gang. MMA Twitter, yes. But
I'll fucking be there, bro.
you two, you're all of us, of course. So to see it happening in Manchester is great. The time's unfortunate, so I guess just sleep early, wake up early, sleep the day before. I don't know, do whatever you need to, drink coffee, whatever you need to do it. But definitely 3 a.m. main card. I was thinking the same thing, Leroy. I just didn't know what to say. I wouldn't know, but
I missed it. I completely missed it. But one thing that we do need to actually think of a positive out of this one is if they're going to be doing this, right, you need to think about the type of card that they're probably planning on making. Like normally we get a lot of UK fighters, a lot of European fighters, and great. You know what I mean, promoting them, they can bring the families, they can bring the friends, they can build it up and they can promote it really well, like with the European fans. But how many times, and I think somebody else said this, I can't remember whose podcast it was I was listening to, but how many times do we sit up every single weekend until stupid o'clock in the morning and watch these international superstars or these international fighters that we would love to go and see and never witness them for whatever reason, whether it's tax purposes or whether it's the travel and the adjustments or whatever it is. I think this is going to be one of those cards where we're going to see more international fighters on UK soil than we've ever seen before. And it's probably just going to be a handful of UK or European fighters on the card. And that is what's probably going to drag more people off the couch into that arena and to be buying a ticket.
I think you're pretty spot on there.
100%. It's got to be. It's got to be. Like I think that's the only way they're going to be able to sell this for people to actually want to go and experience it at that time.
It's probably the first time you've ever said something that wasn't fucking retarded, mate. Good job.
That's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. You can't say that, bro. It's 2024.
What did I say?
This Aussie guys, man, like fucking
The wild, bro. The wild. Yeah, I mean,
What did I say?
Bro, don't say it again.
Oh,
That's
damn it. I'm trying
let's leave it
you
there.
just got cancelled, son. How about that?
Let's-
Woke
let's
culture just took your ass on the stream, and there's
Oh.
nothing you can do about it.
I'm all
No,
right with
let's
that.
let's leave it there. I got one more topic that I want to touch on before we're out of here. This topic is mine. I'm just gonna pull this one out, and I want to go around the table and get your opinion on this. I'm gonna start with Leroy on this one.
Yes,
Joe
I
Rogan-
think Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson. I think
No.
everyone.
I never. Joe Rogan was having a conversation with Max Holloway, and this popped up in their conversation about him, demanding for rule change around grounded opponents. I feel if they're grounded, you should still be able to kick them in the head. And I know what Yao's response is going to be there, but we're going to come to you last on this one, Yao, man. But my man said you should still be able to kick them in the head, even when they're grounded. And we've seen this happen in some
it's
high stakes fights, right? So what's your take on what Joe Rogan is saying there? Do you back the rule change or do you oppose it?
You should 100% be allowed to hit a ground opponent with anything that'd be fine to hit them standing up. And it's exact same as that 12-6 elbow. That's a bullshit rule. Like, if you're going to let yourself get clopped one like that, then so be it. Now, what I don't agree with is that being a part of the rule book and then people cheating like Jan did to Aljamain. Like if it's a part of the rule book, you both have to agree to the rules. That's the terms of engagement. But I think it's a stupid rule and it should be thrown out. Absolutely. It'll stop all these guys from just placing one hand down and then leaving their head in a vulnerable position for an advantage. It'll cut all that shit out.
McDane, I mean, you've seen the conversation between these guys and what they had to say about it. Well, I mean, kicking a grounded opponent in the head. It happens in one. In one, it's legit over there. No, it's not.
No. It's in rising. It's in rising where one is the knee to the grounded opponent that's legal.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But still striking a grounded opponent with your knee, your feet. McDane, what's your take on all this? Do you back the rule?
Let it fly. Yeah, I mean,
if I'm allowed to kick you in the body while you're on the floor, why can't I kick you in the head while you're on the floor?
I can kick you in the head whilst I'm standing up, but not whilst you're on the ground. How does that make fucking sense? Yeah, I mean, like I can elbow you as long as I come at an angle, but I can't go up and down the way. Like, fuck me, right? Jesus Christ, the fighting. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, just
let them fucking swing. And again, as Leroy mentioned, like, and I'm wearing the motherfucker's jumper. Arnold Allen, most I ever have. Like, bro. Yeah. That dude just reached tips of his fingers so he could just play safe. Yeah, I mean, it was literally
rushing the canvas.
Yeah, it's like on the playground, you're going base, can't get me. Base, can't get me. Yeah, I mean, like it would stop them playing that game. So yeah, kick them in the head.
Which I also have. If that is the rule, I have no issue with the competitors using that to their advantage. It actually takes away from the competition. I personally think. I think you should allow.
You can see fighters that's not so grounded go to get grounded just to get out of a situation. Just to avoid the situation. They quickly go to get grounded, even though their posture is not really like in line with being a grounded opponent. Because it's one thing being grounded happening naturally in a transition as you trying to maneuver through a situation or grappling situation. But all of a sudden, if that situation had gone and then you're about to get struck and then you see it and then you go to go and get grounded, I think that's them cheating that rule.
It also provides another point of issue. But what you really want from your referee, it's for them not to have to do anything. And this is another tension point where the referee has to get involved. We've seen them stop fights and check on both competitors or whatever for what almost looked like they were grounded because they were brushing their fingers on the canvas. It just doesn't need to be there.
Yo, you advocate for kicking people in the fucking head every day of the week. Do we need
Whether
to
he's
ask
at
you
work,
what
he's
your
at
take is
home,
on this? Tell the people.
on the fucking bus. Doesn't matter where he is.
Ironically, yes, you do need to ask because I'm not with it.
Oh,
For me,
oh,
as strange as this is, it's one of those things where, and I'm not too sure about the 6 to 12 elbow, but fighter safety is also important. We need to make sure that these guys are, as much as they are entertaining us, are somewhat protected. Yes, it is a fight, but you don't want to have your favorite fighter go out because of something as I guess as dangerous as a grounded head kick, depending, because then you'd have to have a whole bunch of rules around where in the head you can kick, the back, and then there's eyes, and for me, it's just not worth like the effort.
What's
Grounded
the difference from
knees,
standing?
100%. It takes, I guess I'll say, more skill when someone's standing. It's someone who you're actually up against.
Skill level's got nothing to do with down.
But listen to this though. I'm shooting in for a double, and you kick me in the head. You've got twice the force than if I was lying down.
Yeah, that was your fault. but also,
if you're concerned about fighter safety, then you're saying no kicks to the head at all.
I was going to say, you're thinking what the torque when they're on the ground that they might be able to get when they kick them, depending on the position that the person's in. But
yeah, and also look, if you're generally on the ground, now this is just presuming to get to someone's head, because most fighters obviously, you switch around and try and do an up kick, so your head isn't necessarily exposed. If we're talking about grounded head kicks, we're talking about someone who's basically already down, already not able to defend themselves. If we're talking about grounded head kicks, because that's the only time you'd be able to get to a head kick on the ground. So for me, what's the point? All you're doing is putting the fight on the ground in danger for no reason, because if they're in that position, no, don't be kicking them in the head. So for me, grounded head kicks just don't make any sense.
Awesome.
Grounded knees, if your hands are on the ground, that's your problem. You should have had your hands up. One knee on the ground, that's still your problem. You should have. So for me, the grounded knee rule, I'm happy with. Yes, let's get it, but not the grounded head kick. For me, it just doesn't seem like it adds to the fight. It just maybe adds to the injury list.
I can actually see what you're saying there. But if you're lying on your back, maybe the kicks to the head. I mean, the fight is already on the way out. How
but then that's where the ref comes in.
Yeah, how often do you think that's going to happen, though? Yeah, the ref's going to dive in the way. Allowing the rule to exist the way that it does allows fighters to exploit it in a way that ruins the competition.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
fair.
the only
that's
part
fair.
that really fucks with me on the grounded rule. But we'll see. I mean, Joe Rogan's advocated for a lot of crazy rule changes.
Joe Rogan wants to see people compete on a soccer pitch.
Exactly.
Well, one of the other things from this
Gladiators.
from the same pod was what he was saying was it shouldn't be when the round ends, they shouldn't start on the feet again. He was like, it's one singular fight, and you can go two ways on this one. Like, so I get what he's saying, but in sports, it's competition. You are fighting in rounds. So that's the way that it's set up. So yeah, start on your feet. What he's saying is it's one singular fight. So if somebody, say you just worked for 4 minutes to get me down to the ground, and it's somebody like Alex Pereira that is very dangerous on the feet, and he used this exact example, like, and he managed to get him down to the ground. Why should he start on the feet again in the next round, and should he not start in the ground in the same position? Yeah, it completely changes everything up.
Yeah, because if you, like you said, if you're doing rounds, then it's rounds. You won the round. But if you're gonna do what he's described, then you have to change the scoring to some sort of continuous scoring where you're scoring for each and every single thing, and that allows it to be one continuous fight. So continuous fight, continuous scoring. That's what I would say. But we don't really want to see that. Where's the excitement in that? I mean,
let's switch over to what Cardio Gio's just dropped in here. He said, if a fighter is losing a fight, they can throw an intentional kick to the groin and instantly get up to 5-minute break and an extra warning. Should in-cage warnings go away? I feel like fighters take advantage of the free warning. I will 100% go on record as saying there should be no verbal warnings. It should be an instant point deduction, whether it's intentional or unintentional.
No hard warnings?
Just straight up, take a point. Just don't fucking do it. If you do it
would take away the tactic point of view of it. Yeah, I mean, because you have heard multiple fighters on podcasts and interviews say, "Yeah, I kicked them in the nuts on purpose because I needed a fucking breather." Yeah, I mean, I'm sure even Paul Craig said it as well at one point. Like, was it against
that?
Apparently, or somebody?
That strategy is not going to work against people like Pereira, but I mean, for the most part, people do it.
Yeah, he definitely changed the game with that shit. Told Herb Dean, hey, back the fuck off. I'm about to end this, brother. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about them nuts, man. You know what I mean? I got this.
And by the way,
don't worry about these
Jourdain,
nuts.
I watched it again. You're 100% right. Hill threw the first punch after the restart. He was 100% ready. He decided to be backing up instead of moving forward or doing whatever he did. My bad. There was nothing unfair there. He was ready.
The only thing I didn't like about it was where Herb Dean was standing. He wasn't.
Yeah,
that's
what I was about to say. The one thing I will say is that with her being to the left of him, it did prevent him from kind of circling out there.
He couldn't circle out there at all, which means that he had to stay in the range of the power hand because naturally you're going to want to circle to the left to get away from Pereira.
No one's talking about Pereira closing the fucking gap, bro. As he was telling Herb Dean to have the presence of mind to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Is insane. Is in that moment, and it's so nuanced that people go over people's heads.
That's good,
right?
Point.
That little movement, he just shuffled a little bit towards Hill before he delivered that final. That was class.
He stood on the man's foot so he couldn't get away from him. That was an old dirty boxing trick. He was like, "You ain't going nowhere. I'm standing on your big toes."
Absolutely class. That was class by Poitin. Yeah, we're gonna end the show on that one tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, for pulling up today. Another fantastic show. And like we said, people, go and check out Brave. Make sure you're keeping an eye on that event when it comes up on the 11th of May. During the whole fight week, we're gonna be posting a lot of stuff on our socials with it. And make sure you checking out the Rambling Dad podcast. Make sure you're following him on all his socials. Kick him in the head kick podcast. Make sure you're doing that as well. Kick him in the head for real. And the Fight Week show. Make sure you're showing love. Make sure you're following us on all our platforms as well. Leroy,
back to regular scheduled shows. So we'll be back on Friday for the prediction show. We'll also have the watch along for 301.
Yep.
What else we got going? We're going to drop some interviews.
Yeah, we've got interviews lined up that we're going to be dropping. And yeah, just keep on. We got promo that we're going to be dropping as well for Brave CF for this event as well. So make sure you're keeping an eye on all across our socials. We're going to be busy. We're going to be busy, and we're going to be back next Wednesday with another Dust Up Shakedown where we're going to be talking about the fallout of 301
when Australia got a new champion.
And what MMA news is out there. So yeah,
I'm surprised we've not even spoke about 301, but hey, especially with the Aussie on the panel. But
13 is coming up next week as well.
Yeah. Adrian Sanchez done.
No, we're yeah, that's coming up next week, isn't it? You know what I mean? We'll hopefully, we'll have chance to talk about that one on Wednesday because that fight is going to be on Thursday, isn't it?
You know what, gents? Maybe when we have some time, hop on my platform. Let's do it on mine.
Oh yeah, we could do on your thing, actually. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Yeah,
we'll set that up. I'll just give you guys the time.
I can get you canceled over there if you want. No problem.
Yeah, easy money.
All right, people. Salute to everybody.
One last thing though. Sorry.
For fuck's sake.
Fuck Leroy.
Yeah, there we go.
Salute to everybody that joined us tonight. Big up to all of you. We've done 1 hour 23 minutes.
Smash the likes up, people. Smash the likes.
Show some love, man. Show some love. Big up to Jourdain for always giving us your precious time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to Yao.
Ain't that precious, bro?
Giving us your precious time as well. I know time is money. I know time is important. Every one of us have got families. So,
and honestly, guys, give us some feedback. Drop a comment down below. Give us some feedback. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you would like to see us do. Even if it's a completely new segment, let us know what you want.
Even if you just want to call us dickheads, just let us know.
Put a little fuck Leroy in the chat if you mean it. Say it with your chest.
If we can run that up, that'd be awesome.
Get the counter. I'll get a counter going. I'll make a counter.
All right, then, people, up onto the next one. Hasta la vista. We're out. Salute.
Peace. Love.